Pokemon, the franchise that many of us hold so dear to our hearts because it was part of our childhoods. Every year, we get the opportunity to relive the good old times of not being an adult just by playing the new Pokemon game. But are we playing the new games just for the sake of nostalgia? Think about the last Pokemon game you've played. Did you enjoy it? Did you have a good time? Well, the answer is probably yes. I mean, it's not like they are bad games, but they are just the new Pokemon game. It just feels like something is missing. Something that could have been better, greater than just the standard Pokemon experience. And I've felt this way for many, many years now. Okay, just to clarify, when I said it could have been a better Pokemon experience, I'm not talking about how the game still looked like World of Warcraft 10 years ago. It's not about how the Pokemon went from animals to literal trash over the years. It's not about the same repeated fantasy of going on an adventure with your Pokemon. It's about the Pokemon formula. The formula each mainline Pokemon game has. A new generation of Pokemon, some cool mechanic to power up your Pokemon, becoming the very best by beating gym battles, taking on the Pokemon Legends, or sometimes literally God, and then winning the Pokemon League. This has been every single mainline Pokemon game that we have had for so long. It is not necessarily a bad thing to have a formula. All the mainline Pokemon games are still enjoyable, and I'm sure everyone who has played it will say so. It just feels like the franchise has been stuck with very little innovation. It might look like there is innovation, but Mega Evolution, Z moves, Dynamaxing Pokemon are literally the same power-up Pokemon mechanic, just reskinned to fit into the context of the new game. Turn-based combat has been the same rock, paper, scissors element advantage system, even if you add new Pokemon types into the mix. You also have the mandatory gym battles, legendary Pokemon, and Pokemon League to go through. Although it is recontextualized in multiple different ways over the years, it is still the same concept. It has been 20 years since the first Pokemon game, and we haven't really had many cool features that actually shakes up the Pokemon formula. Until the transition from the Nintendo 3DS to the Switch, we see an attempt at open world gameplay in Pokemon Sword and Shield. There is a new way to find and catch Pokemon. There are more Pokemon to be caught in this, thing, other than those we find in the map. We finally start seeing a glimpse of something new. Pokemon fans have been dreaming of an open world Pokemon game for a very long time. A very long time. Pokemon is only experimenting with open world map design in 2019. When there are games like Breath of the Wild that launched in 2017, and all of the open world exploration games that have spawned because of it, Pokemon is very late to start open world gameplay. You can see them starting to break out of the formula with Pokemon Arceus, with like a semi-open world map, but honestly I still think it needs quite a lot of work to get it right. Well, at least there is not only the open world, there are many new interesting mechanics as well. There is some stealth-like gameplay. Pokemon can actually kill you and you fight Pokemon as a human. But the best thing of all for me is the change in combat with the agile and strong style mechanic. Like, this is good. It is a tiny bit of change, but it provides room for some interesting strategy. You can see that Arceus is like the experimentation game for Game Freak. It is definitely heading in the right direction, and for that, I'm glad that something is finally happening. But we are only getting changes in 2022, and with Pokemon's track record of releasing games every year, I don't see Pokemon games being great anytime soon. Like, Arceus is a good game, but it isn't great. All the new mechanics are good, but not polished at all. The traversal in Arceus is okay, not great, just okay. The whole Pokemon can kill you thing is pretty cool, but once you get mounts, it doesn't really matter anymore other than in boss battles. The crafting is alright. I feel like there could be more depth to it, but it works. The game in general just lacks a lot of polish and improvements that could have been done to make all of these new things great. And I think this might be because of the production cycle of Pokemon games. The gap between the mainline games is approximately 2 years, and that is not a lot of time to get things done. There is simply just no time to try new things out. Great innovation takes a lot of trial and error, design iterations, improving from feedback in previous games, and polish, all of which I don't know if Game Freak has any time to do. Like hell, I don't even know if Pokemon Scarlet Violet has time to learn from Arceus and improve on their existing features. It isn't as easy as just delaying a game's release so that the devs have more time to polish and improve on the end product. Pokemon is a huge franchise that involves not only the video games, but anime, toys, and the trading card game. It probably means that there is a very tight production timeline that cannot be moved. A delay in the new Pokemon game will affect the release of new plushies of the next generation of Pokemon, maybe an anime release, or just many hidden things that we don't know about. Like, I don't think there's ever been a delay in Pokemon games. It feels like they are released on the announced date no matter what. This tight production cycle doesn't give much room for the game designers to try something new or crazy. Like the open world stealthy gameplay in Arceus, maybe the map could have been better designed around this gameplay. Maybe there are more gameplay ingredients that can be done to make this more interesting, like hidden Pokemon in the grass that alert others, or patrolling Pokemon that you have to evade. Maybe there was much more the designers wanted to do with this system. Maybe there is a game-changing idea waiting to show itself, but never could because of time. We will never know what's happening since none of us work at Game Freak, so all we can get now are unpolished 3/4 baked attempts to slowly break away from the Pokemon formula. It will be a long time before we can get something polished and improved on, to make a good change become a great change. To let Pokemon, a beloved franchise that just has so much potential, to become the greatest it could ever be. A great Pokemon game that can take us on an unforgettable adventure. Pokemon is a franchise that I hold very dear to my heart. I would even say I'm under copium at this point. I always live out the hope that the next Pokemon game will deliver something so amazing that I will finally say, yeah, this game is great. I will play it again. I hope to see things improve, like voice acting for characters so cutscenes won't be so awkward. Maybe something cool with the turn-based combat like speed tuning or combo attacks. Maybe battles that let you send out multiple Pokemon at once other than the 1v1, 2v2 battles. I hope to see an interesting world to explore, find Pokemon, maybe hidden dungeons or fun quests, trainers that aren't just roadblocks, but characters to befriend and have small stories to make the world feel alive. All we can do now is hope that whatever Game Freak or the Pokemon company is doing, they will soon realize that nostalgia can only carry the franchise so far. We all would like to see Pokemon reach its fullest potential one day, but the day must come soon or the franchise will just be left behind by the many games out there in the market. Let me know in the comments below what you would like to see in new Pokemon games. Do you think we'll see them in Pokemon Scarlet Violet? Personally, I just hope that they keep the hype Pokemon gym battles in Sword and Shield, but let's see what their new open world brings too. Maybe it will actually be a step forward for the franchise. If you enjoyed this video, remember to leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and maybe consider watching this video about Ori and the Blind Forest. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon after smoking some Pokemon copium.